Welcome to CryptoBytes, the podcast where we find today's news and information in the crypto space and break it down into bite-sized chunks. I'm your host, Rick.
And this is Rob. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Let's start off by hitting the like, subscribe, ring the bell, share the link to your closest friends. And we're going to be talking about Mark Cuban. We're talking about the Celsius squeeze and potentially creditors who are owed money. But before we start, guys, before we start, if you're interested in $10 of free Bitcoin, go to the link above, swanbitcoin.com/AGC. Sign up, start stacking, and get your $10 of free Bitcoin. Oh, and we are also a Cardano stake pool operator, and we just minted our 4th block yesterday.
And I'll bet you're asking yourself, I have Cardano. I own some ADA. I want to stake said ADA. Where should I be staking that? Well, you should really consider AGC. We are an incredibly low saturated stake pool that mints blocks. And you know what? What are we to do with all of these rewards if we can't give it to you? Right? So come on down, stake with AGC. Unless you're Angela.
This guy who hurt Mark Cuban. It looks like I don't know if like Charles might have said something wrong to him or whatever. He looks like a hurt person whenever he brings up Cardano. Apparently to him, Cardano just hasn't made it yet. It just hasn't had the impact at all of what he's looking at.
There's like no transactions on the Cardano blockchain at all. Let's be honest here.
Right.
Not right. One.
His metric to judge what a successful chain is, it's all about the transactions per second. And what he's saying is it's just not there for Cardano. This is the guy that lost money in Iron Finance, shilling that pair, right? A Ponzi scheme. This is the dude that was saying, Dogecoin, that's the cryptocurrency for everybody. It's understandable, 2% inflation a year. I can use it for people to buy tickets at my for my basketball games. This guy honestly doesn't know shit about the crypto space.
Talking about transactions per second. If this is the metric you use, and I'm assuming that you must be comparing it against Ethereum, right? But if this is what you're using and you're not looking at reliability at all, there's a real problem here, especially when side chains are all the rage these days, right?
Side chains and bridges. But maybe he just doesn't know what's in the pipeline with Cardano, with the Vassal hard fork, and what it's actually going to do to performance and scalability, amongst other things for the whole ecosystem.
I got 20 ADA that he's got a guy that's on top of that just in case. Like the moment ADA blows up, he's going to be like, give me your report, Sean. I need to know how ADA's doing now.
He could just be flooding Cardano and loading up the truck and getting a fat stack. I mean, we've seen the price go from 42 cents all up to like 56 recently. So, he probably has a stack, and I'm sure he will be saying some nice things about Cardano whenever we do start to scale and there's more people building on it.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot of nice things to say, like, I wish I would have gone in at like 50 cents, or I wish somebody would have told me to get in much sooner. We're telling you now.
Well, look, unlike other chains like Solana or some other ones that are heavily VC backed, like Cardano is, for the most part, it's open source. Anyone can start building on it. The excuse that Haskell is an archaic language is a non-starter.
It's not archaic. It just has immense amounts of history.
Right. So all the FUD that they say about Haskell, it's too hard. It's nonsense. People are building projects, businesses, whatever it is, on Cardano, and that's what it's there for. It's for builders. Yep. You're not going to have one person building out the chain. I mean, yeah, they might implement the upgrades right now, but eventually it's going to be decentralized, and for the most part, people will be building whatever project they want on it. All right, enough about Mark Cuban. We might bring him back later on. But I mean, let's go over to this tweet by Dylan Linclair.
Oh
So
yeah.
for this, the Celsius, everyone knows that last month Celsius filed for bankruptcy, and just recently, it turns out there's a lot of creditors. A lot of creditors. One of them being the World Economic Forum. And it's no surprise that this roundtable steering group out of
Yeah.
Davos, they like to invite people and groundbreaking technology. I remember back in the day they invited like people from Twitter, Google,
That's
Facebook,
awesome.
because social platforms were like the next best thing to get their hooks into. Um, there was a lot of crypto side meetings at Davos. One of Cardano's own Patrick Partfield. Hopefully, didn't butcher that. From NFT Maker Pro, he
Hmm.
spoke at Davos. So yeah, they're very interested in blockchain, and it looks like they may have also been investing in Celsius and are now a creditor in this filing that was released.
Isn't Davos that what is it? World Supervillain Convention?
Pretty much, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the powers that power is invisible, right? And they show their face every year with their armed
Okay.
guards in a ski resort. I mean that's the
Huh.
summation of Davos, if anyone isn't in the know.
Very very eyes wide shut.
Right, but this is a good insight into companies that may have fudded crypto, but were actually in the midst of it, in doing DeFi. And there's this list is, I think, like it's like 6,000 pages, this filing. You can go to the tweet. There's a link to the actual document. You can take a look at it. Like 6,000 names and businesses. So I would say like McDonald's, they had an NFT. I wouldn't be surprised if they were investing in some sort of DeFi, but we just don't know because they didn't show up in this filing right here.
Well, if McDonald's is doing it, it's going to be shown on their Monopoly game.
Why? Wait, so people will give us real money and then we give them a token and then it'll stimulate our economy?
And yet no one will still no one will get boardwalked. Like I totally get it, man. It's a
It,
scam,
it
even
doesn't
in the NFTs.
it doesn't exist in their game. But look, like what other companies are investing in crypto without saying they're investing in crypto, right? And
Literally all of them.
we're gonna need another bankruptcy filing just like this to figure out who is in the ecosystem. And I think now, not financial advice, but I mean, if you're not stacking satoshis or doing a weekly, monthly buy on your favorite Cardano token, you're probably doing it wrong. And I'm not going to say you're not going to make it, but maybe you got to think over your strategy a little bit. Because in the in the bear markets, when you build your stack, and then you can live happy and fat off of it during the bull run.
Not financial advice. I can't stress this enough.
Just a strategy. Um, but look, the cell token. I mean, this dovetails into our next topic here. Cell token has gained 300% since Celsius filed for bankruptcy. There is a hashtag. Was it called a cell short squeeze? People are trying to meme a short squeeze on Celsius. They're talking about uh, shorts getting squeezed out, and this could
Yes.
potentially be mooning. We're back in
Yes.
the AMC era during
GBE.
yeah, GME, AMC GME. This reminds
GME.
me of that. Yeah. Yeah,
Those are good times.
do you think Cell can actually moon? It seems like if Celsius can restructure their debt and maybe start paying people back, it might be this might give it legs, but I still wouldn't. Well, I mean, you said it yourself before the show, Rick, about a 13-inch Lexington pole that you wouldn't touch Cell
Oh
with.
yeah, well, I wouldn't touch it with the Lexington Steel's worth of a pole
Yeah.
at all.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but I people who have lost money, they are trying to grasp at straws, still holding Cell.
Well, I will say and continue to say, People are calling it the crypto winter, all of this. I say nay. No, not a crypto winter, but the fire again going to the crypto world and burning through and leaving us with the wheat and killing off the chaff. Like all together. Like this is bound to happen when Bitcoin tickles 60 grand. Projects will come out of the woodwork to try to siphon as much money off of that. And people spent a lot of time indoors with money from a government looking to find ways to spend it. So it created all of these opportunities for people. They're collapsing. Get your money out if you can, if you're a part of these projects. If you're smart enough to make money off of the collapse, do it. Seems like a lot of fun, seems like a lot of fun. Handle it. But be smart about this. Like, especially with some of these offshoot coins that are being trampled on, like Rob's describing here.
Right. Find a solid layer one like Bitcoin, like Cardano, and then maybe have some fun. I mean, we spoke about this last week, right? What's your fun token?
Yeah,
Find
you
Shiba
got to have
Inu.
a dog, you
Yeah.
got to have a stable coin, right? You
Right.
got to have a project that you really know is going to commit to. Some people it's ETH version 2, other people it's Cardano. Let's be real. ETH Prime is already dead.
Right. Right.
It's already dead.
And there's some breaking news just today. The Senate or the House, they passed some financial package that's going to hire 88,000 new IRS agents, and their main focus, or at least one of their biggest focuses, is going to be crypto. So they're going to go after the dude in college that made money over this past 2 years in
Good,
crypto.
good.
They're
You know what
they're
that does? It
they're not going
legitimizes it.
they're not going after corporations. They're going for the small fry who can't fight
Good.
back.
I mean, it's bound to happen at some point, but if you want crypto to truly be legitimate, you got to have government bodies cracking down on this as if it were fiat, and that needs to happen. And then once it starts happening, it is legitimized. That's why Bitcoin by the end of 2022. You know what I mean? It would be situations like that.
Well, when you get regulation to the space, I think that the big VCs will have a little more confident and actually, start providing services. Let's say for Bitcoin, and we see Michael Saylor was stepping down as role as CEO and becoming more involved in Bitcoin. I mean, he has a software company. Why isn't he developing stuff for Bitcoin? He's one of the biggest holders, but yet says nothing about him developing or using his company to develop the rails of Bitcoin. It's a little bit crazy when I try to think about it.
Yeah, yeah. I actually never really asked that question before. I didn't realize Michael Saylor had that much Bitcoin.
Yeah, he talks about it every time he buys, and people know he makes it very public, and he also files it too as part of his company. But let's wrap it up here. We spoke about Mark Cuban, hating on Cardano for reasons unknown. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he does. The World Economic Forum and other companies coming out in a filing for the Celsius bankruptcy and also Cell token mooning. And look, guys, if you're interested in $10 for Bitcoin, go to the link above, swanbitcoin.com/AGC. Sign up, start stack, and get $10 of free Bitcoin. Also, we are a Cardano stake pool operator that minted our 4th block this past day. So if you're a whale, if you're anybody in a big, giant, saturated pool, come over to AGC. We are a low saturated stake pool that is minting blocks. All right, that's the most important part for anyone who has ADA, right?
And when we say low saturated, we mean really low, like
right,
really low.
So when
maximum profitability.
Right, so when we mint 2 blocks, right, that's a lot of reward that you could potentially get, and some people are getting currently. So yeah,
why can't it be you?
Right, it should be you, right? You, Mr. Whale out there. If you're interested in anything related to NFTs and NFT news, go follow our buddy at NFTs with Keys. really good guy producing our show today. Thank you, Keys. You can follow me at Our Heroes Crypto. I post stuff about Cardano, crypto related news. Try to give, keep people informed with what's out there with stuff that is breaking. Uh,
And
any
you
any
can catch me on OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? Rick Rickelson. If it weren't for you guys paid for the Ford Bronco. Thank you. I love all my OnlyFans. I love you all. You
right.
know who you are.